Just before we go on to our speakers, I want to just reiterate our sponsors who help support today's webinar. All right, we'll start off. Again, we want to thank Wintrust. Thank you very much. We also want to thank People's Gas, obviously our best friend in the last couple of days and later this week. Also, we want to thank Hilco Redevelopment Partners in the Exchange 55 project. We also want to thank Bear Pro Paints, ComEd, Descoto Inc. as a gold sponsor. Thank you again, Fred. Also as a bronze sponsor, the Latino Worker Safety Center. Appreciate it very much, Dan. And also as a bronze sponsor, Escarpita Construction. Thank you very much, George. Also, Rada Architects is another bronze sponsor. Fabex Technologies is also a bronze sponsor. Thank you very much. And also Sanchez and Associates is a bronze sponsor. Thank you very much, Gerardo Sanchez. We appreciate your support. Also, JLDC Construction is a bronze sponsor. So from Clark Construction Group, Javid Aboutorabi, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you, Jorge. Thanks to the HACIA team. Thanks, Jesse, Joey. Thanks everybody for having us here today. We're definitely excited about what 2021 has in store. Certainly 20 was a challenging year for all of us. I think that's been said a lot, but where we are today is we've got a number of opportunities that we want to share. Just give a little bit of background for those who may not be as familiar with Clark Construction, but I want to just be able to spend a few minutes here just to connect with all of you and then hopefully see what the rest of the quarter and the year brings. So Christina, I don't know if you've got the PDF
of the
slides.
Stand by. And
there we go. All right, so my contact info is on the next slide if you want to take it there. For those who think, hopefully I've been able to connect with many of you over the course of the years here that we've had in-person meetings and outreach conferences, networking events, and obviously, we're in the digital age right now, at least for the foreseeable future, but please do reach out to me for any questions, anything that you see that I'll present today, or just to connect about, any other business. So my email, my phone, my direct line. So yeah, that's me. Next slide, please. Let's give a little bit about Clark. So we're actually now approaching our 30th year. Next year will be 30 years here in Chicago. The company as a whole, nationally, we've been around since 1906. So well over a century of work across the country, across a wide variety of product types. So whether it be public work, private work, higher education, commercial office, residential, a wide variety. So definitely a strong presence in the downtown and central business and metropolitan area, but our work really expands across the country. So we've been blessed, fortunately, to have a strong portfolio and strong network of clients. And here in Chicago, we continue to work on various projects for entities such as CTA and city agencies, and we're continuing actually to pursue work with the state. So everything that Jesse talked about, large business, small business, doesn't matter. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and that we definitely are looking forward to. So just a handful of projects we've highlighted here as far as our local resume, but next slide shows kind of the national presence. Out of our Chicago office, just important to note, we actually do cover a pretty wide geographic footprint. We've recently, over the last decade, have built a strong presence in Nashville, Tennessee. There's a lot of work that continues to go on there, both on the hospitality side, even in today's age. We actually last year just completed a new Grand Hyatt in downtown Nashville. And continuing to do a lot of strong work there for multi-use clients, and coast to coast, headquarters in DC, strong presence in California, strong presence in the South, but Obviously today, we're really just going to focus on what we have here in our backyard. So just a little bit about us there. Next slide, please. Just some of our notable projects. I think many of you, when you travel through the loop in downtown, you'll see a lot of our high rises under construction and completed. 150 North Riverside, kind of the crown jewel of the kind of the confluence of where the river bends there. We actually just finished 110 North Wacker on the opposite end of the riverbank along Wacker Drive. That's going to be the new Bank of America headquarters. And if any of you have gone past Union Station over the last year, you'll see the new BMO Harris Tower that's going up. So the landscape, the downtown landscape has certainly changed a lot, and we're glad to be a part of that that high-rise construction. So kind of a snapshot of some of the notable projects that we've done right in just a few block area. Next slide. I show the higher education slide here because a lot of what CDB does is work with universities throughout the state. You know, we have definitely had our target on the University of Illinois system, especially at UIC. And there's a lot of great opportunities there, both, again, small contracts to large contracts. And higher education work is something that we both locally and nationally are really, really interested in. And so we would like to promote these types of projects because of their complexity, because of their importance on campus and importance with academic systems and institutions. So something, again, that we really are proud of from our history and will continue to pursue. Next slide. Similar to the higher education space, we've maintained a strong presence at Argonne National Laboratory and other labs across the country, where, you know, the lab and research space continues to be very strong, especially in this climate that we have. You know, between COVID research, between you know, other clean energy research, a lot of technology that frankly goes beyond my head, but ultimately from a construction standpoint, a very attractive market. These projects happen to be federal projects with the Department of Energy because Argonne is a federal lab. But this type of work, you definitely will see both on the private side and on the public side. Institutionally, certainly there'll be a lot of lab science projects with various universities. So again, just something to be aware of, a space that we are active in and something that could provide a lot of opportunity, both again, locally and nationally. Next slide. And then of course, design build expertise. Many of you are probably familiar with all the work that's happened over the last decade or so down at McCormick Place. We've been fortunate to have been the lead design builder for much of that work. The McCormick Place, Marriott Marquis, and the Wintrust Arena were the most recent projects that completed a few years ago actually. I think several of you probably were involved in some capacity or another. And we too also are very interested to pursue design build work, to work with existing partners, new partners, develop the relationships on these types of projects where you can get in very early versus kind of more the traditional route where typically much of the design ends up getting completed before we as contractors can get involved. So we like the early involvement. We like to see the agencies start to be more open to these alternative delivery methods. And so, like Jesse talked about earlier, you know, with the state having the ability to provide design build opportunities, these will continue to be projects that we would look to pursue as well. Next slide. All right, so here's some key information that I want to share about what we have currently active and upcoming. I want to focus on these 5 projects, and hopefully these are some that might be of familiarity, you may have some familiarity with. The University of Chicago, we were fortunate enough in late 2019 to be awarded the Campus South Parking Garage. It's a multi-phase project where phase 1 is a 5-story parking garage. And then a future phase will have an overbuild with the new athletic facility and academic and administrative spaces built on top of that. Currently, we are out to bid for the phase one packages. I had the pleasure of probably speaking with some of you at a couple of outreach sessions, one that we hosted right before COVID, almost a year ago, late February, early March. And then we had actually a webinar outreach session just a couple of weeks ago with university to promote this project. And we just recently put out the bid packages for all the work. No bids have been committed yet, so subcontracting opportunities are wide open. These packages are due March 1st, so if it's something that you are interested in and have not seen the bid invite, please do reach out to me, because clock is ticking and we definitely are going to be looking to award these in late Q1 and early Q2. The construction will start. Right now, we are targeting a June 1st start for the work. And I believe it's I want to say it's about a 13-month construction period, might be a little bit less, honestly. I'll have to go back and look at the schedule, but it'll basically continue through the balance of 21 and into early 22. So, and I'll get to our bid opportunity portal here and actually go to the next slide, but I'll hit on these other projects as well. The CTA 63rd Street Maintenance Facility is a project that we just actually got awarded through CTA, strong effort at the end of 2020, and we presented to CTA right before the holidays, and we were fortunate enough to win this project during the January board meeting. We expect to receive notice to proceed very soon, and these will be bid packages that we will issue sometime in the spring, early summer. This is actually an example of a design build project. So we are working with our designers currently to kick off the design process. And this will actually be in multiple phases as far as the procurement, where we'll have some of the early packages out to bid. And then as the design progresses, then we'll have some of the follow-on trades out after that. So this will be something, stay tuned, that we're going to have some more information on, and we will publish here in the coming months. Similarly, Metropolitan Apartments, this is actually for a private developer who is working on behalf of the Illinois Department of Housing. It's affordable housing project up in Albany Park on the north side. These will be bid packages that also we will see probably in the next 1 to 2 months as the design progresses. I believe Urban Works is the designer for the owner. And this will be a project that will also be open to all subcontractor trades. So we're excited about all three of these being Clark projects, and opportunities coming up here very soon. With the respect of University of Chicago, again, that is out currently now, out to bid. The next two are open bids that we are competing for. We'll hold on here for just a second. Many of you are probably familiar with the city's new Damon's CTA station. This is currently out to bid through Department of Procurement Services. We are competing for this. Bids are due currently next Tuesday. We are informally hearing that there may be an addendum, but nothing formally has been issued yet. So as of right now, we are marching kind of through home stretch. So, and I know many of you are looking at that, bidding at that project. So, but this will be one that we are actively pursuing. And CDB project here, the UIC Computer Design Research and Learning Center. We actually had the privilege of participating in the CDB's numerous outreach sessions throughout the course of 2020. I believe it was in the summer, they hosted a number of outreach sessions. Joey helped to facilitate those for connecting with the community on this project. We understand this project is going to be coming out here very, very soon. It was targeted for Q1 issue. I think this is going to be coming out here at about the next, probably by the end of the month. I don't know if Joey or Jesse has any additional info on the timing of that, but this is probably about a $90+ million project that we are going to be actively pursuing as well. So stay tuned for more info there. Next slide. So all of our invitations to bid come through Building Connected. It's a very, very user-friendly system. It's all web-based, very easy to create a login and ultimately get access to any and everything that we are bidding. And frankly, a lot of our peers and other GCs are very active on this portal as well. So I know I've seen many HACIA members already active in Building Connected. So here's just a snapshot of the University of Chicago header. All of our bid packages are listed in there. So everything from Division 1 through Division 23, all of it's active and open for bid. So you will also see the same for Lake and Damon. So if you've already seen the invitations for that, also through Building Connected, and you will also see those come through as well for the other upcoming projects. Next slide. So if you've had the opportunity to work with Clark or to bid to Clark, you know that you will need to maintain a what we call a subcontractor qualification application. Very easy to access. Here's the snapshot of our Clark website. There's a link that goes right to trade contractors. You can see the button on the right-hand side where it says application. Once you click on that, the next screen here will show you the landing page. Next slide, please. You will see basically a very simple login. If you have logged in before, here's an opportunity to go in and provide any renewal information. If you have not, first-time user, you'll just create an account, username and password. And then the next slide will show you the requirements. And while it seems lengthy, it's information that hopefully you have readily available, because whether you're working for an agency, whether you're working for another GC, or applying for any RFPs, this is all information that you should have about your company and your experience. So you'll see basically the checklist here for all the information, everything from financial to work experience to safety to bonding capacity. This is all information that we maintain on file, frankly, to get to know you better, to understand your sweet spot as far as the projects that you are looking to bid on and the types of work, and to ultimately get you into our bidders list and have you active going forward. It is a annual renewal, so we do ask that you maintain your information with us regularly. We'll send reminders out once it nears that time. But again, yeah, this is our way to make sure that we have as much background information on your company and be able to work with us. Next slide, please. And the last thing I want to talk about, I think some of you are probably familiar with our strategic partnership program. Independent of any project-specific goals or requirements, we have a 6-month training period where we mentor small businesses. And the goal of the program is to help to build capacity and promote growth within the construction industry, within small businesses in the construction industry here in Chicago. It is actually a national program. We've rolled it out in all of our various offices. We've been running the Chicago SPP since 2014-15. We're on our 7th season. We're actually graduating our current class in just a few weeks, actually, in mid-March. And our enrollment period for the following semester will then begin in the spring and summer. So I'm actually the director of the program, and definitely it's something that I hold close to my heart, and is an accomplishment that, frankly, we're very proud of, because again, it's independent of any specific projects. It's independent of working with Clark. It's our ability to help build more capacity here in our marketplace, which is something that I think we all know is very, very needed. Next slide, a little bit of info on the class itself. Here's the summary of the graduates and the firms. Over now with this class, we'll have close to 170 graduates over our 7-year period, and many of which have actually worked with Clark, and many who are currently bidding, and many who are actually off doing other types of work. So great to see the growth pattern here. Next slide. Here's a sampling of the curriculum, the type of work that we share. Everything from the back of house financial statements all the way through the operational side, fundamentals of project management. And we conclude every semester with a capstone RFP, and it gives teams the opportunity to actually respond to a true bid proposal, RFP proposal. Next slide. So again, the timeline on this, those of you that would be interested to participate in the upcoming semester, second and third quarter is our recruiting and enrollment period. And then we will kick off our SPP classes in September, and typically goes 6 months, like I said, September through March. These are once a week, every Wednesday night. So tonight's our class from 6 to 9 p.m. We went 100% virtual in 2020, and so far it's been a big success. So previously we had hosted our classes at the Chicago Urban League. So, you know, until for at least the near future, and certainly going forward, we are going to maintain our, you know, virtual classes, and we will certainly see if down the road, if there is a hybrid of both in person and virtual to kind of get the best of both worlds. So that's the timeline for SPP. I think my next slide is probably our concluding slide. Yeah. So from kickoff, from orientation to graduation, it's a intense 6-month period, but it's something that we've found a lot of value in helping, you know, small businesses emerge in our community here. Something that I hope that down the road we'll see some of you at. So Jorge, I'll turn it back over to you for any other questions.
All right, thanks, Javid. All right, let's see if we have some questions here. Christina? All right. Any info about Clark working with women architects owned businesses or in design industry? I think that's it, right? Okay, one more time. Let me clarification. Any info on Clark working with women architects and women architect owned businesses with the design and industry in general?
Absolutely, yes. You know, when we put together our design partners, certainly in a design build format where we do have the ability to kind of form our teams, we look at opportunities to partner with new firms and also to build on relationships, because there's kind of a balance. The reality is, when we are submitting on a proposal, they look at team qualifications, and team qualifications are typically a very strong factor in evaluation. So the question always is, how do we build on a resume and a portfolio that we have established throughout our experience, while also helping to build new relationships? And so, you know, we're finding that as more design build projects come about, we have more opportunities to make those connections and be able to do that. And I think also it also lends itself to the nature of the project. A transit project is going to have a totally different, you know, partnership outlook or a partnership breakdown versus, say, a higher education project or a residential project. So definitely want to play to strengths, and definitely would like to, you know, build on areas that we may be weak in, and hopefully build new relationships. So if there are any design professionals here that would like to connect with us and talk more about design build opportunities, I see Rada Architects making with some of the comments. I would love to make the connection with you, and I know there's a lot of work that I think we can find overlapping areas on.
Awesome. Thanks, Javid. Christina, are there any more questions? All right. Oh, we don't have any more questions, Javid. So I do appreciate your time and your presentation. That was a great snapshot on everything that Clark is working on and what they're bidding on, what you guys are bidding on. Really appreciate it very much. So